Hello everyone, this is David Ray here, and I'm here to bring you a special video. I have finally decided to do a ranking video of all DreamWorks films thus far. We have 51 movies here, and for some strange reason, it has the Megamind sequel here, and not Dogman. So, for the time being, we are going to pretend that this is Dogman and not the Megamind sequel, which I have not actually seen as of right now. I have seen Dogman, so when we get here, I'll just act like this is Dogman instead of the Megamind sequel. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and get started here with my ranking of this tier list. We'll start with the very first one, Ants. Now, to be frank, I'm not a fan of this movie. I'm not aware of anyone who is. It's going to go mediocre. I've never liked Woody Allen. The guy's mostly a D actor. I've never seen any movie that he's in as an actual person. So, he voices the main character Z, which is a dumb name for an ant, or for any character for that matter. But yeah, it's not a good movie. It has a bland story and frankly not great animation. Although it was the first movie, so I can't really blame them for that. Next up is The Prince of Egypt. Now this movie is phenomenal. I don't think there's anything I don't like about this movie. It contains my absolute favorite duet of all time, When You Believe, performed by Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, two of my absolute favorite vocalists of all time. And that's just in the end credits, but the entire movie itself is outstanding. So, yeah, Prince of Egypt, outstanding in every possible way. Next up, we have The Road to El Dorado. I don't know if you're going to hate me for this one, but I think this is okay. It is an interesting story. I'm not a fan of the lie reveal trope. That gets old pretty fast. But the songs are okay for the most part. I saw this pretty recently, and I not actually seen it before that since like 2002 or so. So it had been years since I watched it. But I did watch it recently to prepare for this video. So yeah, it's just okay in my view. Chicken Run. I really like Chicken Run. It is, I believe it was the first film made by Aardman Studios in collaboration with DreamWorks. I think I actually own this movie on Vudu, or Fandango at Home, as it's now called, a digital copy. And so yeah, it's really enjoyable. Although it still has the live reveal trope, which I'm not a fan of. Although they don't actually focus on it for too long, which is why it's okay. Well, it's much better than Road to El Dorado, in my opinion. Joseph, King of Dreams. I'm going to put right here. It's a not a sequel, a prequel to The Prince of Egypt, as it takes place hundreds of years before that. I don't even remember much of this movie. I have not watched it for quite a while, to be honest. I was not able to find a way to watch it through any streaming service. I don't have Netflix, so I don't know if it's on there. But it's just okay for the most part. Not great, but not absolutely awful. It's a good movie, but not one I would ever watch again. Okay. As for Shrek, I've never been a fan of any of the Shrek films, any of them. But I recently watched this movie, and I laughed more than I'm willing to admit. But I'm gonna put on meh. It's okay. not my far from my favorite movie, but you'll find that most of the Shrek films will never go any higher than the okay tier. That's it. That's the highest it'll go, is in this tier. Alright, Spirit. Do I really need to say anything else? I've never made it a secret that this is my favorite DreamWorks movie, and this movie is the only one that will go in this tier. That's reserved for this movie and this movie alone. I love Spirit. You can see from my channel banner and my channel profile picture that it's, I just love this movie in every way. The songs, the music, the score, the story. I know some people don't like the Matt Damon narration, but I don't have a problem with that. I never even heard of Matt Damon before I watched this movie, so I'm actually okay with it. Sinbad. I think it's just okay. Not all that great, but not really that terrible either. Shrek 2, which is the best movie of the Shrek franchise, at least in the Shrek movies, not counting the Puss in Boots spin-offs. But I'm just gonna put this right here. Like I said earlier, the Shrek films will not go any higher than this tier. That's as far as it'll go. It had some funny parts to it, I suppose, just not a whole lot of them. And seeing Shrek as a human is just, well, weird. But in any case, it's okay, I guess. Not all that. I'm not a big fan of the Shrek movies, like I've always said. But we'll go on to the next one. Shark Tale. Yeah, this one is just as bad as everyone says it is. I did not see it for the first time until very recently. I'm not sure why I watched it, but I had to just prepare for this video. Yeah, it's bad. Not even Jack Black can save it. He was in this movie, and yeah, he's funny in most things he's in, but not even Jack Black can save this movie from the mediocreness that it is. Madagascar. I'm gonna put it right up to El Dorado. It's okay, I guess. The storyline of Alex and Marty having been best friends is a bit at first weird, but they could have been zoos, so they don't really know any better. Let's see what else about it. Yeah, a few corny jokes and funny parts, but beyond that, it's just okay. The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. This one is really good, I think. And it's going to go right up to Chicken Run. This is another movie I've not seen for a while. I do recall the twist that it has. And spoiler alert, if you have not seen this movie, I recommend you just mute the video for about 10 seconds. The twist of Wallace being the were-rabbit was a pretty cool concept. I remember the villain being really funny. But beyond that, I don't remember a whole lot about it. Okay. Over the Hedge. Just okay. I'm not the biggest fan of the character of Hammy. I know he's voiced by Steve Carell, and I guess he did a pretty good job with it, but beyond that, and the best part of Over the Hedge is definitely the Verminator. Thomas Hayden Church voiced him, and he is absolutely hilarious. Allison Janney also voiced the character. She voiced your typical Karen, the head of the HOA. And since I've never been a big fan of HOAs, she's an easy character to hate because she's so picky about everything. What else was there? Oh yeah, the lie reveal of RJ. Not a fan of that trope. Never have been. But beyond that, it's just okay. All right, Flushed Away. I like this movie. Not quite as good as Chicken Run or Curse of the Were-Rabbit, but Bill Nighy and Andy Serkis voiced two rats in this movie. Absolutely hilarious. And the French frogs were also pretty funny too. And Hugh Jackman is the main character. I forget his name actually. Is it? Begins with an R. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting these things. But anyway, I really like Flushed Away. Next up, we have Shrek the Third. And this is the absolute worst DreamWorks film ever. Jack's Films was right. This movie, not only is this the worst movie of the Shrek franchise, then it should be stripped from the Shrek canon, but in my opinion, it's the worst DreamWorks movie, period. It is awful. It may have one good scene, but that's it. I don't like it, period. That's all I'm going to say about it. B-movie. B-movie is meh. Jerry Seinfeld is a bee who sues the human race for eating their honey. Not sure what the point of that is. It's just meh. Kung Fu Panda. Now, this one rocks in every way. I'm going to put it about, no, not up there. That was weird. Okay. Anyway, Kung Fu Panda, awesome movie. Jack Black is great. Dustin Hoffman is great. The Furious Five are great. Ian McShane is the villain. Tai Lung, forgot his name for a second, is great. Mr. Ping, also great. Great character. It's just awesome in every way. Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa. That's going in the okay section. What's going before Sinbad in Shrek 2? I find this movie to be, well, first of all, I'm neglecting to mention this about the first movie. The penguins are the best part of these films. The penguins absolutely steal this movie, and Bernie Mac, who voices the father of Alex, was pretty cool in that movie. And Alec Baldwin voices the main villain. And I'll say this again later. I'm not a fan of Alec Baldwin at all. He's not a good person in real life, but he basically plays himself in this movie, is what I'm trying to say. Alright. Actually, this one goes below that. Okay. Monsters vs. Aliens. I saw a video once where they called this one the worst DreamWorks film. I do not agree with that, but it's just mostly okay. Put it right there. I forget who voices most of the characters. I know Rainn Wilson voices the main villain, Galaxar, and I know he's in The Office, although I've not actually seen most episodes of The Office. Just a few clips from here and there. But regardless, he's pretty funny, I suppose, as the villain. And this character, Bob, I guess he's supposed to be a comic relief character with no brain, but he's not all that funny from what I can remember. The only thing I can really actually remember is when she's about to fall off a tall building and she forgets that she's actually tall. So she just falls like a couple of inches. Well, from her perspective, it's a few inches. But Yeah, that's the only part I actually remember laughing at. Anyway, How to Train Your Dragon. I think this is really good. It's going right there. The animation is absolutely amazing. Although the fact they focus on Hiccup rather than dragons is a bit disappointing, but they do improve that with the later films. But anyway, the first How to Train Your Dragon, really good. Shrek Forever After. While this is definitely better than the third film, I still don't think it's that great. It goes in meh. So, this movie I saw semi-recently, back when I actually had Netflix. I just remember it being a ripoff of It's a Wonderful Life, which is my favorite movie of all time. And frankly, they could have done better than that. They should have come up with a, original story. But to wait and see what happens with Shrek 5. I have seen the trailer, and I think I know why they aged up the characters of Shrek and Donkey, because they aged up his daughter, which is odd because he has 3 children, not 1. In any case, they're like a few decades older, so that's why they look older than that trailer. In any case, Shrek Forever After, what's better than the third one is just not all that great. Megamind. Megamind is good. What can I say? Actually, it's spectacular. Will Ferrell, who I've never been a big fan of, is actually really hilarious as Megamind. Brad Pitt as the hero, Metro Man. Jonah Hill playing Jonah Hill, the villain. And who else? Oh yeah, J.K. Simmons. You can't forget J.K. Simmons. Although his role is relatively small, it's still he's still pretty funny in this movie. Okay, Kung Fu Panda 2 is next. And this movie is, wow, this is amazing. Kung Fu Panda 2 really outdid itself. Not only did it improve the first movie, which was by itself a great film, but it got one of my absolute favorite DreamWorks film villains of all time. Actually, I'll even go as far to say that Lord Shen is my favorite DreamWorks film villain, despite him not being my favorite DreamWorks movie. But in any case, it's an outstanding film, and I highly recommend it. Puss in Boots, the spin-off of Shrek 2. I actually have a soft spot for this movie. I'm putting really good. Hang on, it goes here. What can I say? Puss in Boots it's good. And regardless of what people might say, it is way better than Shrek. And yes, I'd say it's even better than Shrek 2. He was first introduced in Shrek 2, and while I kind of liked him in that film, it was not enough to make me like Shrek 2. Alright, Madagascar 3. I know it's weird for me to say this, because I made it clear in the past I absolutely despise circuses. But this movie is actually my favorite of the Madagascar franchise. I know it's kind of odd to say that, but the reason I'm putting it higher than the first two is because of the main villain, Dubois, or whatever her name was. She's one of the absolute funniest DreamWorks villains ever, and she's the only reason why this movie is not going down here. Even though I absolutely hate circuses, which is the focus of this movie. And, yeah, it's okay. Just mainly okay. Wait a second. This one actually goes before the first one. Okay, I actually have a list in front of me of where I'm supposed to put these movies. Because I already had it pre-ranked beforehand, but then I kind of forgot where they're supposed to go. But I did take a screenshot at least, so I have that. Okay, Rise of the Guardians. What can I say? This movie has grown on me over the years, even though it has Alec Baldwin, which I've already made clear that I don't like very much. And beyond that, I'm putting Alec Baldwin aside. I like Rise of the Guardians, and whether you like watch it around Easter or Christmas makes no difference to me. You can watch it at either time, and I wouldn't really care that all that much. But anyway, I like Rise of the Guardians. The Croods. This is meh. I think it's just, not that great. I know Nicolas Cage is in it, and he's the only actor I can think of who's in it that I can remember. It's just, not really interesting all that much. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Turbo. Now, I've heard people say that this movie is the worst DreamWorks movie ever made, and while it is bad, it's not as bad as Shrek the Third or Shark Tale. So yeah, this movie is not great. I would put it, mediocre is the lowest I can put it, but I can't even put it any higher than that. It's just forgettable in pretty much every conceivable way. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Now, a number of years ago, I was visiting my sister when my oldest nephew was quite young, and he would watch this movie over and over and over again. And they had this tiny little apartment, so I had nowhere to go, and I got really tired of this movie pretty fast. So yeah, I'm not a fan. Although Patrick Warburton is in it, and he's good in almost everything he's been in, but regardless of anything else, besides that, Alice Jenney also is in it. She was in Over the Hedge as well, and yeah, I guess she's okay. I don't even remember who voices the two main characters. It was based on a TV show, which I never watched, but in any case, let's move on. How Did Treat Dragon 2? This may come as a shock to some of you. Yeah, this is my favorite animated sequel of all time. I don't think any movie will ever take its place. Puss in Boots: Last Wish came close, but didn't quite make it that far. I love everything about this movie. It is so well made. It should have won Best Animated Feature. I don't remember what year it came out, so I'll have to look into it to see what movie actually did win that year. It might have been Brave, or it might have been some other movie, but I don't remember exactly which one it was. In any case, this movie should have won Best Animated Feature. Although it might have been Toy Story 3 that came out that year, which is, I guess it earned that award, but if it was Toy Story 3, I still like this movie more than that. Penguins of Madagascar. Now, my dad really likes this movie. If it was my dad, he would probably put it up here with Spectacular. But I am not my dad. However, I still really like this film. I'm going to put it really good. As I said before, the penguins are the best part of the Madagascar movies. And they are what makes those movies worth watching. So, to put them in their own separate spin-off, pretty bold move. Great story, well, for the most part, a good story. Pretty good animation, interesting characters, and the main villain is Dave, an octopus, and he is one of the funniest DreamWorks movie villains out there. One of the funniest. I would put him at least in the top 3 of the funniest DreamWorks villains. He is absolutely hilarious, and I can't even remember the name of the guy who voices him. Might have been I can't recall who it was. Anyway, next up is Home. This one goes here. Before I watched this movie, I never even heard of Jim Parsons. He voices the main character, O. I was not all that familiar with The Big Bang Theory, in which Jim Parsons plays Sheldon, the main character. So I was not all that familiar with him, so I didn't know who it was at the time when I first watched it. And I know that Steve Martin is in here. As funny as he is most of the time, not even Steve Martin could save this movie from being mediocre. Home compared to 3. This is going in the high spot of okay. I know a lot of people don't like this one. They consider it to be the weakest one of the film, but I don't agree with that. It's still pretty good. It has J.K. Simmons after all, and J.K. Simmons is good in pretty much everything that he's in. And that alone is enough to make it go pretty high. Trolls. Another shocker. I actually like Trolls. I do. Even though it has a mostly weird story, but Branch, the character here, voiced by Justin Timberlake, need I see more? And Anna Kendrick, also need I see more? As of right now, I've yet to see any of the Pitch Perfect movies, which Anna Kendrick is in as the main character. But anyway, the main villain, the chef, is also one of the funniest DreamWorks villains out there. Just purely hilarious, and I actually like most of the songs in this movie. Really, really good, especially the last one. Can't Stop the Feeling. Co-written by Justin Timberlake himself. Anyway, Boss Baby. Yeah, this movie's bad. What can I say? Alec Baldwin's a baby, and he is kind of a baby in real life too. Don't even really need to say more than that. It's just, yeah, not a great movie. Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. Now, I saw this movie for the first time pretty recently, but I think it's just okay. The main villain, Professor Poopy Pants, his name alone makes you laugh a lot, which is why he hates his name and he wants to, get rid of all laughter, which is thankfully not remotely possible in the real world, but it's pretty good for the most part. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Well, it's not as good as the second one. I still really like the third one. Great conclusion to the series, to the trilogy, and I'm sorry to admit this, but I've not actually seen the TV shows. Riders of Broken, Race to the Edge, as of right now. I hope I can watch them someday, but as of right now, I've not actually seen them. Anyway, next up is Abominable. Excuse me. Abominable's cute. It's furry. And he's kind of a lovable goofball, but what can I say? I like lovable goofballs. I don't remember much about it. It has been a while since I've seen it. And I think it's okay. Trolls Band Together. Also just okay. Some people call this the worst film of the trilogy, but the fact they brought back NSYNC, the entire group, and not just JT, was pretty cool actually. To see them all get to sing together again, pretty awesome. And beyond that, I don't really know a whole lot about it. Coons, A New Age. Okay. Thank you for a second. I think it's okay. No, not just okay, but meh. So, what can I say about the Croods New Age? It was supposed to be the Croods 2 originally, then it was cancelled, then it was brought back on. It was just confusing, mostly. I don't remember a whole lot about it, to be honest. But I'll go on to the next film. And yeah, this movie is a spin-off of the TV series, which I never got into. I've seen one episode of that show, and while this character Spirit here is not the same character as this Spirit here, it's supposed to be his offspring. But I'm not sure they ever make that clear. But regardless, it's not a great sequel. It's forgettable. And as someone who really loved this movie, I did not have high expectations for this one going in, because I not heard many great reviews about it. But in any case, yeah, the sequel, if you could even call it that, not great. Boss Baby, Family Business. It's worse than the first one, which is saying a lot because that was a bad movie to begin with. Yeah, it's just bad. The Bad Guys. That one was right here. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. It has Aquafina, and I know a lot of people don't like Aquafina for some strange reason. I have a soft spot for Aquafina. But in any case, this movie is really good. Spectacular, even. Next up, we have Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Wow. What can I say about this movie that has not been said before? I love this movie. It is outstanding in every possible way. I don't think they could have done anything different to make it better. It is outstanding. I would put it higher than How to Train Your Dragon 2, but that movie still remains my favorite animated sequel. But wow, it is so good. Okay, the Kraken movie. This movie was not good. I don't like it. But I didn't need to see more than that. I'd say it had pretty good animation, but other than that, wait a second. Okay, my apologies, everyone. This is not Band Together. This is World Tour. For some reason, that it was Band Together, but this is World Band Together right here. I'm sorry about that. In any case, this one goes here, and this one goes here. Yeah, I neglected to notice that before, so yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, Band Together. I did speak about this briefly, so I'll go and talk about this one now, because I thought it was Band Together for some reason. This movie is okay, I guess. It has Kelly Clarkson, who is a pop singer in real life, but she plays a country troll for some reason. But she did a pretty good job, I guess. And the fact they brought together a whole bunch of different music genres, pretty cool concept. And I like, for the most part, and a pretty good story and a good message to accept all kinds of music, because there's a lot of great music out there, of different genres. Alone in the Dark. Wow. This movie is... Wow. I was actually shocked by how good this one was. I had only heard positive reviews about it, but I didn't know what to expect. Man, it is, I don't know what to say. It's just really, really good. It's, I'm just speechless right now, to be honest. It's just, so good. Kung Fu Panda 4. Okay, this one. Okay. Where did I put this one? Hang on a second. Alright. Alright. This one goes right here after Monsters vs. Aliens. This one also is Aquafina. Again, like I said, I have a soft spot for Aquafina. I would wish I could put this higher, but I cannot in good conscience put it any higher than this. It is the worst film of the Kung Fu Panda franchise thus far, although I still enjoyed it. Mostly, anyway. The Wild Robot. Well, I was very surprised by how good this movie was. I had only heard positive reviews of it, but I am shocked that this movie did not win Best Animated Feature. So, even though the movie that did win, called Flow, I've seen 15 minutes of that movie, and what I've seen so far, it is also very good. Flow would also, if it was a DreamWorks movie anyway, would go in this tier right here. Though I like the Wild Robot a bit more than Flow. In any case, the Wild Robot, outstanding movie. I love it. You should watch it if you haven't already. It is really good. Okay, Troll Hunters. Not good. Just meh. This movie is forgettable. The animation's okay, I guess. But the story, I don't even remember most of it, to be honest. And I don't recommend this movie. I would not recommend force this movie on my worst enemy. Of course, any movie that's down here, I would not wish on my worst enemy. That's how bad they were. Okay, now, I've already said I've not seen the Megamind sequel. It would probably go here. Well, not here. Here in this spot. Based on all the movie reviews I've seen. But we are going to pretend, just for a moment, that this is Dogman and not Megamind. Okay? Just imagine this as Dogman, not Megamind. That awful sequel, which I've only heard negative things about. Dogman would go probably right here. If this was Dogman. Remember, you have to imagine that this is Dogman and not the Megamind sequel. I've not seen this movie yet. I've not had a chance to. But if this was Dogman, that's where Dogman would go. And I think it's kind of strange that a man who injured his head and a dog who injured his body would have to be fused together like that. I mean, they're both technically dead after that, but it's just bizarre. It's like Frankenstein's monster. Only in this case, it's a superhero, and not not really a superhero, just a good guy fighting against bad guys. Anyway, that's where Dogman would go in this spot right here. Anyway, that's it, everyone. That's my DreamWorks tier list. So what do you think, everyone? You agree? Disagree? Let me know in the comments below. So until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day. And I will see you all in my next adventure, which is actually coming up in just a few days. So have a great rest of your day, everyone, and take care.